Okay, so now we are going to be riding our Apollo City Pro 2024. Now I've had this scooter for about a month, and generally when I'm doing reviews, I like to have the vehicle for quite some time before I actually do a review, because you need to know the ins and outs of the scooter. And if you get it and try to review it in a couple of days or a week, you really don't get all the pros and cons of this vehicle or anything that you're reviewing. So personally, like I said, I like to take more time to do it. So like I said, I had this for about a month. Now we're taking it downtown Toronto today. We're going to take it on some paths. We're going to take it on the street. We're going to do a speed run. We're going to do some hill tests. And I'm just going to give you my general opinion of this scooter. And I got to say, it is a blast to ride. Now, a couple of years ago, I would say 3 years ago, I was a novice when it came to like scooters. And since then, I would say I've become an expert. I started off with the Segway G30, and then I graduated to the Segway Max G2, which I got last year. And it was a pretty good scooter. I was happy with it. It went about 35 kilometers an hour. It had pretty good suspension, and it was a good hill climber as well. But it was just missing a little something. And that something was speed. I just wanted something that went a little bit faster. And that's why I decided to get this Apollo City Pro 2024. And like I said, this thing goes fast. So I don't know if you guys can see the speedometer. Right now we're clocking 26, 25. I got to be careful because there's people around, so I don't want to go too fast. But we're going to gun it right now. So let's gun it. As you can see, it's picking up speed. We're going. We're at 37, 41, 45, 46. Whoa, we are going. We're getting up there. So this thing, it gets up and moves. You got plenty of room on the deck here. You can put your feet side by side, which I don't recommend. That's not a way to ride a scooter, putting your feet side by side. That's how you can get off balance and fall. I like to put my foot in the front and put one in the back. They have like a little dip there, or a little tail. I don't know what you call it, but you can put your foot on it. And it's a lot more comfortable riding the scooter like this. Now we have a bit of an incline here. I wish I could go a little bit slow. Let's see. Can't go too fast here because we got a lot of bikes in front of us. Now I want to talk about the distance on this scooter as well. Like I said, I've had it for about a month, and distance wise, it goes. Like, I've been able to do 40 to 45 kilometers on the top speed, like every single time I ride it. So I've never had less than 40 kilometers on a trip. And like I said, I'm using it in the highest speed, which takes you anywhere from 51 to 55 kilometers an hour on average. So that is pretty fast. And to get that type of distance, it's pretty awesome. I gotta say, the hill climbing ability of this scooter is amazing. You got two dual 500 watt motors. So that's 1,000 watts. And I think they peak over 2,000 watts, maybe 2,200 watts you got at peak power. So that's more than enough to get up a hill and to give you that extra boost of speed when you need it. And like I said, the Segway just, it was a good scooter. I don't want to say it was a bad scooter, but it was just missing that little bit of speed. And I got that with the Apollo City Pro. Okay, so right now we're gonna try this hill. This is a pretty steep hill, and I just want to show you guys the hill climbing ability. So as you can see, this hill is steep. We're gonna go right up it. Look at this. Look at this. This hill is as steep as it gets. That was a steep hill. I'll show you guys right there at the bottom so you can just see how steep that hill is. It's extremely steep. So we're gonna take you on a trip through Toronto today. We're gonna go downtown. The Indy 500 is happening right now, or it happens tomorrow. So part of downtown is shut off, but we will drive by the track so you guys will get to see it. And I hope that you guys are hearing me correctly today. I didn't get to mic up with my Rode mic. I'm using the DJI Pocket 2, as well as I'm using the DJI Action camera. I know I'm not saying it correctly. I'll put it up on the screen. In fact, I'll put all of the gear I'm using today in the comment section down below so you guys can buy it for yourself. I'll put my affiliate links there, and anytime you buy something off my affiliate links, the channel gets a kickback. And I also want to say, when you're riding a scooter that can go 50 to 60 kilometers an hour, you want to wear some gear that protects you. You definitely want to wear something that is protecting you. So I go out with shin guards, or I should say knee pads. elbow pads, as well as a full face helmet. Now, it's very important when you're riding a scooter to use a full face helmet, because on a scooter, unfortunately, if you have a fall, you're gonna most likely go face first. And you're gonna wanna protect your face, your teeth, your mouth, your brain. It's very important to wear protective gear when riding a scooter, especially one that goes fast. Now, hopefully today, me riding this, you guys will get a good idea of how this scooter runs. I also will leave an affiliate link for the Apollo scooter in the comment section down below, so you guys can also buy it there. It does go on sale. Sometimes it goes on sale for $18.99 Canadian. I think the regular price of it is $20.99. So, just look out for the sales, but it does go on sale quite frequently. So let's just cross over here. You see on the path here, we got a lot of people with electric bikes, with normal bikes. So we're just gonna rip it here. Just gonna let it go. We're gonna go past the Indy 500 right now. You'll be able to see some of the cars here. I'm sure you can hear it in the background. I believe today they're just probably doing trials or just, testing out the track. I don't think the actual race is today. If I'm correct, I believe the race is on Sunday. But hopefully we can get some action here. Well, there's some there. You can see a car over there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but they're going around the track. And over here is a little bit congested. Another thing about these fast electric scooters is that when you're on a path or you're on a sidewalk somewhere where there's a lot of pedestrians, make sure to go at a safe speed. You don't want to be ripping like 55 kilometers an hour in a situation like this where there's a lot of people, children walking, a lot of people on bikes going slower. You don't want to be going too fast because you could cause an accident. So make sure that you go at a reasonable speed on the path when there's lots of people on there. Now, if there's nobody on the path and you have a clear, way, then that's a different situation. But see, something like this here, we really can't go too fast because there's too many people here, which kind of sucks because I'm trying to do a review on this scooter. But I got a lot of people on this path, so I just got to take it easy. But we are going to get it wide open where we'll get to show you the full capabilities of this scooter. It's a lot of people out. So I don't know if you guys can see over there, but there's cars ripping from the Indy. Here, I'm gonna try to stop it here. Now they are ripping. They are ripping. Holy smokes. Those cars are going fast. Wow. That was crazy. Those were going really fast. I gotta be honest with you guys, I've never actually witnessed these cars on a track, and that speed was just insane. It was like a blur going past me. Incredible. Yeah, so you guys are getting the full tour of Toronto today. Get to see the Molson Indy cars on the track there, ripping up the speed. And we're gonna take you through a trip of my city. Toronto's a beautiful city. I really love this place. The crime obviously is much better than a lot of places in the States. We're down by the waterfront today. We got the Sky Dome, we got the CN Tower. I don't know if you guys can see it in the distance here, but the CN Tower is over yonder. And there's a lot of people down here today. Probably not the best day that I could have chosen to do a review on because there's a lot of people here. And I can't just bust this scooter wide open, but just bear with me. I'll probably stop recording here until I get a moment where we can get it a lot more open, where we can get the speed. Okay, so we have a point here where the road is shut off for regular traffic. So I have a point here where I can actually rip it and show you guys the true speed. So you can see the speedometer right up here. Hopefully it's being displayed there. Let's see. There, you should be able to see the speedometer there. Okay, so hopefully you guys see the speedometer there. You should be able to see it, so we're gonna rip it, okay? All right, so we're at max speed here and we're gonna rip it. We're at 23, 30, 33, 39, 40. We are ripping it. We are ripping it. 49 kilometers an hour, 51 kilometers an hour. $51, $52. And then we're gonna use the regenerating brakes. Now that's another thing I love about this scooter, the regenerative brakes, or the regen brakes. They're really good on this. Now on average, you'll get about 5 to 10% put back into your battery using the regen. So that's a pretty good feature. And to be honest with you guys, I really don't use the brake levers on this. I just use the regen, and it pretty much stops me most of the time. Now in an emergency situation, sure, I can squeeze the brakes and the drum brakes will be activated and I'll stop a lot quicker. But for the most part, I don't really need to use them. I just use the regen brakes and it stops me just fine and well. And like I said, it gives you more power. It puts more power back into your battery. So this will extend your range. So as you guys saw there, this thing gets up and goes. It's no joke. That's why it's very important. I can't stress it enough. It's very important to wear protective gear. Make sure you have, at the bare minimum, a full face helmet on in case you fall, so at least you protect your head, right? You know, a broken bone, obviously you want to avoid that, but a broken bone you can repair. You know, you fall down, you split your head open, that's not something that's easily repaired. So I really got to stress that out. And I'll leave links in the comment section down below so you guys can get the helmet that I'm using. I'm using a Fox helmet right now, and it's very light. It's white, so it deflects the heat, and it's going to protect my full face. It's going to protect my chin. It's going to protect my head, my forehead. It's just a great helmet. We're probably going to get off of the road here, and we're going to go down the side of Spadina here. Are we on Spadina? No, we're on Bathurst. So we're going to go down here. It's another part of the lakeshore here on Toronto. It's a lot more bike path friendly over there on the road there. Although this scooter can keep up with traffic, I don't want to take it on the road there. Just, you got to be wary of drivers. There's a lot of people that don't pay attention when they drive. So I just rather not be on the road downtown Toronto that doesn't have a bike lane with other cars. I don't think it's the safest option, even though the scooter does go fast and can't keep up with traffic. Also too, I want to talk about the Apollo app. The Apollo app is pretty good. It gives you all of your metrics. It says that we have 91% left, 33 kilometers to go. I think maybe we've went 5 kilometers. It said that we've went so far. Yeah, I like everything about the app. It's a well-run app. I don't have any problems connecting. I saw some people in the early days of this scooter, they had problems connecting to the app. That's not an issue that I've ever suffered with. The only thing that I will say is that the speedometer that is actually on this scooter, it's not as accurate as a real speedometer. I'm using a GPS speedometer to track my speed. And right now, this scooter is saying like 20 kilometers, when in actuality, it's probably around 18 kilometers. So I would say on average, it's about 2 kilometers off the what the actual real world speed is. And that's kind of a common issue with a lot of scooters, a lot of e-bikes. I noticed that their speedometers can be off. So I would recommend using a GPS speedometer on your phone, or if you have a standalone, to get the exact speed that you're going on these scooters and electric bikes. Because this one, it's off by a couple. I would say it's off by 2. So here we got the path. There's no one on the path. It's wide open, so we can bust open the speed. Another thing about the suspension on this is great. Like I said, when I took this out the box, I was taking on the sidewalk a little bit, and I noticed that it was a little bit rough, and I was kind of disappointed. I was like, why is the suspension not better than the suspension that I have on the Segway? And that was just because it was loose from the factory. It just needed to be tightened up, and once it was tightened up, this suspension, it's very cushy. You're not going to have any problems with it. You're not going to feel the bumps on the road. It absorbs it. Now, of course, if you go over like a big, huge bump, you're going to feel it. But the suspension is going to take a lot of it off of your body, right? It's not going to be as jolting. But for the most part, this suspension soaks up everything on the road. Right here, we're going to go over some cobblestone, and it's like smooth. I don't feel it at all. Now, another thing about this scooter, what made me buy this scooter, is that I'm able to take it to the office. So in the summertime, I really don't use the car as much. I use my scooter to get back and forth to the office, to commute, to do things that I can do that don't require a car. Now, if I gotta do heavy groceries, of course I'm gonna have to take my car. But if I gotta get something light, I have a hook on this Apollo that I bought that can hold some groceries. I would say it can hold maybe 10, 15 pounds of groceries. So if I gotta do light grocery shopping, I can take the scooter. And in the summertime, I like to be outside. I like to ride scooters, electric bikes, fly my drones. I don't like to stay indoors and play a lot of video games in the summertime. I know a lot of you guys in the summertime, maybe you have more time to play video games because you don't have school or whatnot. But for me in the summertime, we outside, man. We're outside enjoying the beautiful weather, the beautiful people, the beach. We're working out. We're getting in shape. That's what we're doing. Oh, look at that e-bike. Yeah, so that's a good thing about being downtown. All of these paths, you can freely ride your scooters, not have to worry about pedestrians, and just really enjoy your ride. Another thing I want to say about this scooter is that it has a pretty large battery. It's running on a 48 volt 20 amp hour battery. If you put it in like the eco mode, like the lower speed modes, you can get about 60 to 65 kilometers on a trip. But of course we like speed here, so we're not going to get that. As I stated earlier, I get about maybe 40 to 45 kilometers per trip in the highest mode, which is good enough for me. That's more than enough distance on a charge. And today we're going to be going all through downtown, so definitely gives us the range. So let me talk about all the things that I like about the scooter. I like the access to instant speed. Like, I want speed, boom, I got it. I like the regenerating brakes, putting power back into my battery. The suspension system is really good. The 10-inch tires are self-healing. So if you run over a nail, there's some goo in there that's just gonna fill up that hole and you're not gonna get a flat. Now, of course, like anything, you can get flats, but I haven't run into that issue, and I'm noticing a lot of people have not. Now, if you slice it open, of course, you're gonna have to change the tire. But for most things on the road, like nails and whatnot, this scooter's self-healing tires will do the job, and you won't have to be replacing your tires. That's one thing that I don't like about some other scooters that have the tubes inside of them. You can get pinch tubes, flats. They're just a lot easier to get flats, and if you've ever gotten a flat on a scooter, it's not a lot of fun. It's pretty hard to take off these tires. So I gotta give kudos to Apollo for these tires, because they're definitely good tires, and I think most of you won't have any issues with flats on them. What don't I like about this scooter? I would say it'd be nice if it had hydraulic brakes, but the drum brakes, they are really good. And like I said, you have the regenerating brakes on it, the regen brakes on it, which stops you pretty well as giving you more power into your battery. I wish it had more LED lights on it, like the Apollo Pro. I had to add the lights to the stem, the LED lights to the stem, just to give it a little bit more pizzazz. So I wish that it did have a little bit more LED lights. The light in the front is not the best light. I had to get an aftermarket light. The turn signals are awesome. I do enjoy the turn signals, and there's also turn signals on the back. Maybe I should stop and show you guys the turn signals. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So that's one of the turn signals. There's another one on the back there on the other side. You also got them on the bottom of the scooter there. See it there? And on the other side as well. So you got a lot of visibility in the nighttime, and drivers should be able to see and know your intentions when you're on the road. So that's also an excellent feature of the scooter. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you guys, there's not a lot of things that I don't like about this scooter. The scooter, it's been really good, giving me great mileage, giving me great speeds. It's everything that I wanted in a scooter. I gotta be honest, I have all the speed that I want. So yeah, I don't got anything really negative to say about this scooter. I will say one thing, I noticed a little bit of a creak in my front handlebar. I know some people complain about it popping. Mine does do that a little bit, but it's not really a safety issue. So, you know, if I just had to rate the scooter, honestly, from 1 to 10, I would give it a solid, 8.5 to 9, honestly. You know, nothing is perfect, but it's a really good scooter, and I think if you buy it, you will enjoy it. All right, let's go. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the core of downtown. We have some bike lanes here. So, like I was stating earlier, I feel a lot safer when there's bike lanes. I just don't want to be riding downtown, especially when there's no bike lanes. Just the way people drive, people don't pay attention, they're on their phone. You know, you're on a scooter, you're not as visible to everybody, so it's a lot easier to get hit by a car. So we're gonna try to go down by Eaton Center. We should have a lot of charge, enough to get there, drive around the city, and go back to our starting point. Now this is where the editing is gonna come in because we got a lot of ride, and I don't think I can just sit there and like talk to myself for the next 20 minutes. So we'll probably edit this part. If not, then I don't know, maybe you guys are gonna just hear me rambling for a minute. Another thing I want to point out is that when you're on a scooter, it's very, very important to have mirrors. I see a lot of people riding scooters without mirrors, and I don't understand how you're doing that. You need to be able to see what's behind you, to see the traffic, pedestrians, whatever. It's very important to have mirrors, because you don't want to be riding your scooter and you're looking around to see what's behind you, because your eyes are on the road. You could run over a pothole and it could throw you over the top of the scooter, or the front of the scooter. So very important to always get mirrors. I also got an extension bar, as you guys can see here, so I can nicely mount my phone, and you know, the aftermarket front light, as well as an extra mirror. And it's just good to have. I don't think it really makes it too cluttered. Actually, if I'm talking about something I don't like about this scooter, that would probably be it. This front bar here doesn't really give you a lot of room for accessories, because it's not the traditional size, and also it's not like a full metal. So when you are attaching some accessories to it, I don't know if you guys can see it here, but you do get some dings. As you can see here, like, you do get some dings. So it's a minor gripe, and I'm sure with the next iteration of the scooter they're going to fix this, because there's nothing that is perfect. So, you know, maybe the front bar could have been a little bit better designed for quality, so that it doesn't lose its finish. And I would say that's pretty much it, man. I don't know what more they could do with the scooter, because it rides well. The app works good. You got a good torque on this. You got good speed. You got regenerating brakes. You got turning signals on the handlebars. You got turning signals on the back. It's just a very, very nice scooter. So right now we're at the Esplanade and Yonge Street, and we're gonna head over to the Eaton Center, get to the core. So you guys are getting a full trip of downtown Toronto today. And that's one of the benefits of having a scooter. You can make little trips like this. You can park your car somewhere, you can take the scooter, and you can go throughout downtown. You can run your errands. I brought a lock with me today, so you can lock your bike up, you can get something to eat. Now, I wouldn't be locking up a scooter, to be honest with you guys, out of the field of view. If you're gonna lock up a scooter, make sure that you can see where it is. You don't want to leave it, because although there are some really secure locks, a thief that is determined to get your scooter, they can use an angle grinder and easily get your scooter locked off. So I would never recommend leaving your scooter locked up for a long period of time or out of the field of view. So I don't know if you guys can see over there. There's a CN Tower. Yep, we got a lot of people downtown today. And I'm surprised all of the gear is on. It's still recording. Oh, these guys are going slow, so we're gonna bypass them with their little bikes. How dare they? Okay, so this is where it gets squirrely for me, because oh man, I hate kind of going in with regular traffic, but we don't have a choice here because the bike lane kind of ends and there's a lot of construction here. The good thing about this scooter is the speed, so you can keep up with traffic. So although I don't like to ride in the street with traffic, because I can keep up with traffic, I do feel a lot safer. Downtown Toronto, going with the flow of traffic. One of the perks of having a fast scooter. Here we're gonna use some regen brakes, so we use full regen brakes to stop there. So we gotta be really careful here going through the streets of downtown Toronto, because there's a lot of stupid people driving. And I'll tell you, the roads are pretty bad here, man. So let's, Daredevil Pigeon. No, honestly guys, even though I'm not talking as much as I usually do in other videos, I think I'm just gonna leave the footage and let's let it play in its entirety so you guys can just get the whole feel of my ride. So there might be parts where I speed it up, I might add some music in so that's not as dull, but we're just gonna ride around today and just have fun. It's not like a regular type of review. I want to show a real world opinion of this scooter. And it's not me riding it on a test course or riding it for 5-10 minutes. It's me riding it through the city and letting you guys see the experience for yourself. Now, based on my ride today, you guys should know if this is a scooter for you or not, because we're taking it through a bunch of scenarios. We took it uphill, you know, we took it through a lot of pedestrians, a lot of bike paths. Now we're downtown Toronto in the middle of the street, ripping up Yonge Street. So you guys have, you know, the full scope of what this scooter is capable of doing. And at the same time, you guys are getting a great view of the city. I love my city. Toronto is lit. Okay, so we're gonna finish up our review here. Now, the last time that I recorded the footage, I actually ran out of juice on my cameras, and I didn't realize it until I got home, so I was unable to finish that ride. But when I got back to the car, that ride was approximately 20 kilometers. Now, that's the beauty of having a scooter like this. You can ride by the waterfront, and just being able to go at such a good pace. I don't know, there's nothing that beats riding a scooter. Now, of course, there's electric bikes, but that's a completely different experience. But riding scooters is fantastic. And I gotta say, honestly, this Apollo City 2024, it really has changed my summer, because I'm just able to go more places that I wasn't able to go before, because I'm able to keep up with traffic. I'm able to go into the street. I'm able to have great range, and of course I'm able to have good speed, and of course the ride is just premium. So this is pretty much the scooter. This is it. I'll leave links in the description down below so you guys can order it for yourself. It's a fantastic scooter. I highly recommend it. If you use my affiliate links in the description down below, I will get a kickback that will benefit the channel. I will also leave a direct link that you can get it from Apollo themselves. They're having fantastic sales on it right now, so now's a great time to get in before the tariffs hit and the prices go up on this scooter. You're gonna love this scooter. If you're coming from a Segway Max G2, you're gonna feel the upgrade right away from the ride quality and the speed. This is a fantastic scooter, and I highly recommend it. If you like this type of content, let me know in the comment section down below. Everything that I use today, from my camera to my protective gear to all the accessories that are on my scooter, including the LED strip, will be listed in the description down below so you guys can order it for yourself. And like I said, if you order it from my affiliate link, the channel does get a kickback, so I would highly appreciate it that you do order it from my links. Anyways, like I usually say, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you like this Apollo scooter, go ahead and get it. I definitely recommend it, and if I had to give it a score, I would give it a score of 9 out of 10.